Hey guys, AJAX 22 here, and today we've got something a little bit different. This is an AN M5 Pyrotechnic discharger, and you've probably seen one of these before, even though it looks a little different than something you might be expecting. These use the same 1.58 inch cartridges that the Mark 8 Pyrotechnic pistols use, which is essentially 40 millimeter. The low lift ones, same as the M79, except these had a flare designation going back to World War II. These were the multi-shot Pyrotechnic dischargers that were located in some of the larger planes. Not many of these survived because, well, it's unwieldy, unconventional, and it doesn't scream, hey, steal me and stick me in your bag when you leave and they decommission the plane, whereas the Mark 8, you know, looks like a gun, has a serial number like a gun. People kept track of them. These have serial numbers as well, but you know, obviously something like this doesn't say, hey, unbolt me, take me out of the plane, and not many of them were saved. This has a little bit of movie pedigree on this one. These were used in Predator, if you'll recall. One of the characters, I believe it was Paco or Pancho, had a random rotary grenade launcher in that movie. That was actually fabricated out of one of these. That was before you could just go and, you know, buy a Def Tech or a Penn Arms or whatever. So they had to get a little creative. And that same one was modified and stuck underneath a G3 in the classic Chuck Norris film Braddock, Missing in Action 3. So if you've seen either of those two movies, you've seen one of these. And it's, you know, not something you're going to come across every day. I wasn't looking for this one. It just sort of fell in my lap. And I had to have it because, you know, I'm always looking for this kind of weird stuff, and I've never seen one in person before. It uses I believe, a solenoid actuated indexing system, which hooks up to this cable to rotate the cylinders. And then it has this thing on the side. And I'm not exactly sure how this works, but I believe this pulls the firing pin back and then drops it. Loads through a gate in the back here, which is operated by this lever. Yeah, a little bit of surface corrosion in this thing. These weren't really treated like firearms. They were some sort of a weird thing that somebody's, you know, nutty uncle pulled out of the plane because it seemed kind of cool. And this one probably needs to be disassembled and then have some of the spacers and shims adjusted. It's been stored. I don't think it's been actually used to discharge. It's kind of neat though, because you can mount it, you know, in a vehicle using this this plate up front, and it'll work remotely. That's the theory anyway. It may require some form of a releasing system. I don't know if you're not going to be able to see the firing pin. I'm going to have to do another video on this thing once I have it disassembled to show you how it really works. Because it's I'm not even really sure myself. And I'm going to need to scrounge up some flares for it, because I think this is one we're going to have to mount into something and shoot. I think it might be kind of cool to have one of these mounted in the trunk of your car for emergency signaling, in case you need to illustrate your distress. Obviously, in a time and manner in which it is legal to do so. I think there's some rules against driving around California with a loaded flare anything. I think they treat that like a firearm, so have to get creative about where and when. But kind of a neat toy. Yeah, the rear assembly seems to be cast aluminum, might be cast steel. I don't have a magnet. That's under some paint. I'll figure it out. I'm still really not sure how this thing indexes. It definitely locks up. When you pull on this this cable, it definitely comes loose, and it seems like it's trying to index, but it might not be in adjustment. And then there's the mystery of how the firing pin operates. Just kind of a cool toy. I was totally unaware that these things existed until this one sort of fell in my lap. Almost impossible to put a price on something like this. There's just not enough of them in circulation to say, oh, those cost this much. If you're a guy with some form of World War II airplane that you're restoring and you need one of these, they're priceless. If you have one and just kind of want to mount it in your car, then who knows? Or you just want to have it on your collection of cool stuff. Stick it on the wall next to everything else that's nifty. But yeah, it's cool. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it. I think mount it in the car, clean it up, and then mount it in the car. Just for as they say, giggles. But yeah, that's an A&M 5 6-shot 1.5 inch Pyrotechnic discharger, aka 40 millimeter 6-shot rotary that is regulated as a flare and emergency signaling device. Very cool, very different. These were made by the who was the Eureka vacuum company, the EVC Co. And this one was made in 1942. Serial number 30288. U.S. Discharger Pyrotechnic-M5. I think the official designation had an AN in it, but I'm not 100%. You can Google these things all day long on the internet, and you'll come to discover that there's a manual out there for them. It says they take basically 40 millimeters, 1.58 flares, same as the A&M M8 Pyrotechnic. And you'll find out that it was the basis for a custom gun used in Predator and Braddock. Beyond that, they're kind of a mystery. Not a lot of them out there. Not a lot of people talking about them, which is a shame because they're different, and anything different should be the subject of some kind of conversation somewhere. Keeps things fresh and interesting. Yeah. It's got 2 steel plates that the 40 millimeter cylinders slide into, and then it has a banding system. It's like pallet banding almost, a little bit stronger, that's spot welded here to hold them together. Very different, very different. And it has almost no space between the little stub barrel and the cylinders. It's I can't really see, but it's very well fitted. Anyway, guys, don't know what else to tell you about this thing. I'll make another video once it's disassembled. May take me a little while to get around to it. Got a lot of projects going on right now, but I definitely wanted to share this while it was still fresh on my mind. So, yeah, a little bit different. Something to bring you. Have a good one.